Good morning and welcome to Morning Devos, Morning Meditation. How are you this morning, Mrs. Ruby?
I'm good. I got to sleep in.
Oh, the sleeping in. I had a little pug licking my back. I want to get up. So I did not sleep in. But I got to have lots of hang out by myself time, feed the dogs, think. Yeah, have some quiet time. It's important. What worried you the most this week?
What worried me the
Yeah.
most? I thought about people, other people, how they're doing.
What worried me about the most this week? I don't know. It was more, I think it was just, is the grass going to turn green? And every day I was like, yeah, the grass is greening. It's like when you're watching paint dry, that's what I feel like we're in this time of like, man, spring is getting so long. And then April's almost done. Oh my goodness. But anyway, hashtag stay home. All right, you're reading today?
I'm reading today. Accepting change. The winds of change blow through our life, sometimes gently, sometimes like a tropical storm. Yes, we have resting places, time to adjust to another level of living, time to get our balance, time to enjoy the rewards. We have time to catch our breath, but change is inevitable and desirable. Sometimes when the winds of change begin to rustle, we're not certain the change is for the better. We may call it stress or a temporary condition, certain we'll be restored to normal. Sometimes we resist. We tuck our head down and buck the wind, hoping that things will quickly calm down and get back to the way things were. Is it possible we're being prepared for a new normal? Change will sweep through our life as needed to take us where we're going. We can trust that our higher power has a plan in mind, even when we don't know where the changes are leading. We can trust that the change taking place is good. The winds will take us where we need to go. Today, help me, God, to let go of my resistance to change. Help me to be open to the process. Help me believe that the place I'll be dropped off will be better than the place where I was picked up. Help me surrender, trust, and accept, even if I don't understand.
Wow. I didn't see that one coming. Yeah, that's
Okay.
we're in a time of change, and we were on a Zoom call with a whack of people. Was it this week? Yeah, this week. And the pastor was talking about preservationist. And so many times we can get into preservation mode and curling up in a ball waiting for the norm to come back. And he had likened that to Blockbuster. And when Netflix and streaming came out, they were like, no, this is how we do our business. This is what we've always done. This is what we're always going to do. And I think a year later, there was no such thing as Blockbuster. So I think this is so relevant in today right now is there's so much change. And people are being consumed by the anxiety of that. There's reports of way higher usage of alcohol and drugs in the last month at home. And so people are trying to deal with change on their own. I think I look at little kids. They always want change. Can we do this? Can we do that? I think as adults, we kind of dig in our heels about change. Like, don't change the norm. It's uncomfortable. What's your thoughts? You love change?
No, I don't.
Like that with my clothes. I've had the same pants on for quite some time now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that we have to be compassionate towards people because change is hard, and especially when like the future is unknown and things are really different and they don't have any control over anything. I think that it's good to have space for the unknown and change. And I don't know that it's necessarily about like digging in heels, but that there's lots that's unknown, and when you're in a time of having like no clue what the future will look like, it's a scary place to be. And people we're all doing our best, but I mean, I'm doing my best to navigate this. It's like the ground underneath me just feels wobbly, long before COVID even started with my job ending, but and not knowing what I would be doing next, and not knowing what I should be doing now. And then, and sometimes we can flip-flop. And I think the hardest part is, we live together, and so you see it every single day. And so that's been hard to navigate.
Yeah, I think early recovery from addiction or codependency, we are very controlling. We try to control the outside cues by drowning them or in unhealthy relationships. And so then in early recovery, there's so much change. And so if a person can't accept change or they're resisting change, then they're never actually going to change. So the whole point of recovery is change. And so putting it in that context, and I like the prayer at the end is, help me let go of resistance of change. Because if I'm resistant of change on the outside, then how about on the inside? Because I think the whole point of recovery is change. Change is good. Change is hard.
I don't even necessarily know that you could just limit that to recovery. I think that life, inevitably life, even just how we grow and age, that's a constant change. Our bodies are changing. Our physical abilities change. Our mental capacities change. And if we are resistant to change at our age, what are we going to be like when we're decaying?
Oh my goodness!
Losing our mental capacities.
Imagine us at 80 years old and.
Yeah. So I feel like there's things that we can go through when we're younger that can prepare us and equip us. And if we are resistant to change, I mean, that's one of the things that I kind of noticed. I was like, there's older people that are just so incredibly kind and loving and soft and thankful. And then there's like the really grouchy, the one that yelled at people in Walmart the other day.
That's the one I want to be. Some weird part of me wants to be that cranky old guy. I can get away with yelling at people.
But there doesn't seem to be a whole lot in the middle. At that age, I just realized, I think that we kind of, as humans, kind of keep going. We either go further and further into one way or further and further into another way. And those characteristics of like patience and kindness and self-control and goodness and love and compassion and empathy, and they're either growing in us or they're being overtaken by anger and hurt and resentment. And
you're saying set the trajectory of your heart today and accept change and all the goodness that God has for us. Because that's the truth, is that we really have no control of what happens on the outside, and there is going to be a lot of change, and we have to trust and put our faith into God that He has good for us, and that the changes that we are going through have our best interest in mind. We are His children, and He wants good for us. And
even when I don't understand, learning to surrender, trust, and accept even what I don't understand. And I think, we're all in different places, and it's okay to have like hard days, but really looking for the places to be grateful and to have gratitude. And, I think that's really, I've heard that from a lot of people in this time. And I think it's really beautiful how people are actually looking for what to be grateful for. They're looking for, I've seen a lot of people catch themselves, posting on Facebook or whatever, and they're saying like, I do not feel okay. And I think even just that piece of like actually saying it out loud says, I don't want to just surrender to this. I don't want to let this overtake me. Here's the reality of how I'm feeling, but I don't want it to take over and become my everyday.
And he used to say, I'm just reminded of that saying, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And so we can get stuck in unhealthy patterns and unhealthy behaviors. And if nothing changes,
nothing changes.
And so I think we have to not be resistant to change, accepting change. All right. Happy Sunday. What else? That's it. Bye.